Yeah, you already know what time it is. You already know what's going on. I am your host, Cam Silver,
I'm your co-host Kyle Silver.
and welcome back to another episode of the Silver Boys Podcast.
A
Man, what a weekend, Kyle. What a weekend.
great weekend in terms of college basketball. I'm not mad at nothing that transpired. I ain't mad at nothing that happened. Great games all around. The most deserving team won. I'm gonna just leave it at that with Michigan.
Yeah. Most deserving team, arguably the best team. So,
Yeah.
hey, they did exactly what they had to do, but we'll talk about it a little later. But
Yes.
for right now, with the NFL, nothing crazy has been going on. Basically, the same news, same things going on. Just the fact that voluntary camp has started up, so we have teams getting into action a little bit. I know obviously it was making a big deal. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
saw Lamar at voluntary, right?
Yep. I was just about to bring that up. As a matter of fact.
I forgot until you just said that. I think that's very big. I think that's very important.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot bigger than I think. Even I was stating it to be earlier
Mhm.
in the week. Just the fact that obviously, new coaches coming in and things of that nature, new cultures that they're trying to set. So it's big because obviously he for the past few years he has not been really showing up to voluntary camp. So it's good to see him in the building, especially on day one. He doesn't have to be there obviously for every day, but just to set the tone for like the first couple of days. Love to see him there. Love to see the fact that the captain is taking the initiative and understanding what is at stake, because we've talked about this many times. This is the time where they're in their window right now. They don't have, oh yeah, we could be mediocre for the first couple of years, then after that, no, you have to get
Mhm.
it now. You have to get it
Mhm.
right now, because if you don't, then Patrick Mahomes is going to come back. You never know what Josh Allen and the boys are going to do. What if Joe Burrow were to get healthy and the Cincinnati Bengals were to say, hey, let's actually spend money on our defense? So, yeah, it's a big deal that he is there.
I agree. I completely agree because of the fact that, we were on Lamar for not, taking the reins as a leader and being there on day one when you should be there. I think that that's important. I think it's important to the team, to the players, and to the new coach that's also there too. Because, like you said, it's a whole new culture that you have to try and instill in these guys now. It's a different dynamic. And with Lamar being there, he can bridge that gap, I think, and he can start to build, his own culture there as well too, his own leadership,
Yes.
and that only starts as you showing up and you giving it your all, whether it's voluntary, mandatory, in season, out of season, whatever. It's important that he's there. It's important that he builds the camaraderie with these new coaches as well too, because you don't want no bad blood
Yep.
with a new coach already. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's great. I love the fact that he's there. I really wholeheartedly love the fact, and I love seeing that clip of him there.
Yeah. Now we're just waiting on, the NFL draft coming up. And
Hmm.
from what I'm hearing, that this could be a very heavy trade type of draft coming up
Hmm.
this season. So very interested to see where teams like the Ravens will fall, especially, trying to fill in just some of those filler positions that they need to fill in.
Hmm.
But going on to the Giants, they having a bit of a situation. The defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence has requested a trade, and he will not participate in any of the team's off-season workouts that has obviously opened up on Tuesday. Lawrence and the Giants have attempted to negotiate a contract over the last two seasons to reflect his value that he has brought to the Giants over the past 3 years, but no progress. So, Kyle, being our Giants fan, what do you think of this?
I don't like it. I don't like it, but I gotta have faith and I gotta have trust in Harbaugh. The
Yep.
Giants kind of have a little bit of a history of not really paying the right players at the right time. And the fact that you just told me, I didn't know this, but for the past two seasons he's been trying to get a new contract. So this is before John Harbaugh even came in. You know, so who knows what that dynamic creates with you trying to get paid, but a new coach is coming in. Maybe the new coach just, can't use you as much as the last coach did. We know how great Dexter. is.
Yeah,
And I think it would be a loss to lose him. I really do, because he just bolsters our defense so much more than it already is at. With Abdul Carter, with the Kayvon Thibodeau. It's important that he was, in the center, on that line, setting the tone. So I was a little sad. I was really sad to see that, he requested a trade. I thought something could get done, but, a lot of moving parts still for the Giants. Still a lot of moving parts that's going on. Harbaugh's trying to get that team correct. You got other people that you're going to have to start paying as well too, other contracts that will be coming up. So who knows how they're trying to allocate money and whatnot, but I think it's just a loss. I really do think it's a loss for the Giants. I think it's another dude that they're letting go by the wayside. And I don't think that they're doing everything in their power to keep him.
yeah. I do know one thing that Harbaugh did say that he does want to keep Dexter
Hmm.
Lawrence. So I would
How
say,
could you not want to
if the
keep
head
him, man?
I mean, yeah, he's all pro. He for a nose tackle, he does a lot of disrupting on that defensive
Hmm.
line, and he gets a good amount of sacks too for a nose tackle. Which, if you know, a nose tackles they're not known for getting sacks, but he actually does power through that line, and he will come after your quarterback. So, like you said, he pushes that defensive line to another level, just
Yes.
being there and being the threat that he is. He makes the Giants defensive line one of the scariest in the league, period. So yeah, to lose him would be a great, great, great deal of a loss. I think the only way you will have to compensate is by getting another good D tackle or just by getting another slew of picks that will make up for it. But
Hmm.
all in all, I hope the Giants are able to retain Dexter Lawrence and get him a contract that he does indeed deserve because he has done a lot for this Giants squad over the past few seasons.
I'd franchise tag him, and I don't even like franchise tagging people. Nah, you got to
Franchise,
stay, bro. You got to stay, bro. You got to stay. I don't care.
man, that would be funny.
Right. Right.
But
I don't even think I've heard of a D tackle getting franchise tagged.
yeah, I don't think so either. Actually, now that I'm
Exactly.
thinking about
Exactly.
it,
Exactly.
I try to
Set a new
think of one,
precedent.
but nothing.
Why?
I don't think that's a precedent. I don't think that's a precedent that you want to set. But I hear you though. I hear you though.
Just do what you got to do to keep that man, bro. I don't care. I don't care, man. If you
Hey,
want 300 million, man,
hey,
find a way to get it. Find a way to get it. I don't know what to tell you.
he gonna reset the market after this. Oh man. Yeah, so the NFL draft is coming up in what, 2 weeks now, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 weeks now. So that is going to be interesting. Like I said, from reports that I'm hearing from a lot of insiders and a lot of reporters, is that this could be a trade heavy draft. So be on the lookout for players getting traded, draft picks getting traded left and right, especially with some of the teams that need quarterbacks. They're
Hmm.
looking at more so next year, not this year, just knowing just the fact that there's more than likely only going to be two quarterbacks drafted within the first two rounds. Because after that, I'm gonna be honest, don't even ask. Don't even ask. And that's no shade to those players. That's just how it is right now. That's just where the talent is for this quarterback class this year.
Hmm. Hmm.
Moving on, we got the NBA. I know we haven't talked much about the NBA this
Easy.
season. Yeah, for the overall part, just because football has mainly taken over everything. But
Hmm.
get into it. Sunday is the last day of the regular season. Tuesday starts the play-in tournament, and then next Saturday is when we will start the NBA playoffs. So just to run it down a little bit, on the East, the Pistons officially lock up the number one seed, with the Celtics, Knicks, and Cleveland falling in behind. The rest of those three teams have indeed locked up a playoff spot. Toronto and Atlanta are still fighting to keep their head above water so that they don't fall into the play-in. Teams like Orlando, Philly, and Charlotte are trying their hardest to somehow, some way get out of the play-in, but they are more likely stay in the play-in. And Miami Heat is already locked in for the play-in, and then everybody else from Milwaukee, Chicago, Brooklyn, Indiana, and Washington are all eliminated on the East side, on the East Coast.
I think the scariest team, genuinely, going in for the East is the Charlotte Hornets. I do. I really do think that. I really do
I
think
can
that.
see that.
I think Brandon Miller has taken a step up. I think Knippel might be rookie of the year for real.
Hmm.
Honestly, that kid is that kid's nice. That's not a team I want to see in the play-in. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah, no, especially LaMelo Ball's doing his thing too as well.
Hmm.
So you know, they got a tough squad, and I feel like for me personally, this has always been a squad where I've always asked myself, okay, when are they finally gonna take that next step? When are they finally gonna hit the gas and really go into it? And it feels like right now is the perfect time to do so, and they have a chance to make a good statement. If they stay where they are now in this ninth seed that I'm looking at this current moment, they will face Miami, and then that they'll face either the winner of Orlando or Philly, depending on if they obviously win.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
and they can for sure win, and try to and give maybe Detroit a bit of a run for their money. So
Yeah, I mean, and that'd
we'll,
be an
we'll
interesting matchup because Detroit has taken that next step up, in their progression as a team. So I think it would, serve as a catalyst for the Hornets, yeah, for Charlotte to actually see what a mature team looks like and how to get there. I think as well too.
Yeah, yeah. And also with the fact that Cade just came back from his collapsed lung.
Hmm.
So happy, very, very, very happy to see that, because that team is better with him, obviously. But they held their heads above water. They were, what, I'm gonna say, like 8-3 without him
Yeah.
or something like that. They played very, very well without Cade. So just having Cade back and having an extra set of hands is going to be great for them, especially
Hmm.
going into the playoffs. For the Western Conference, Oklahoma City has not only locked up the number one seed, but they have the best record in the NBA. San Antonio locks up the number two seed. And then you have Denver, the Lakers, the Rockets, basically fighting for the seeds between 3 and 5.
Hmm.
Minnesota looks like they are locked into the number 6 seed. And then
Okay.
after that, you have the Suns, the Clippers, the Trailblazers, and the Warriors. They're all locked in right now for the play-in on the West Coast,
Suns, Clippers, Warriors.
and Trailblazers.
Trailblazers got in there. Oh, wow. The West is always been tricky. We always get, as soon as we get into this time of the year, 3 through 5 is a dogfight. 3 through 6, 3 through 7 is essentially a dogfight. I don't really, I'm not sure because the Lakers are, Luca is hurt, a
Hmm.
hamstring injury. Austin Reeves is out, so I don't know what that team is. I'm not sure here. I don't really, do I kick him to the curb?
Yeah,
Maybe for a team like the Rockets, even what if Kawhi gets hot and he has an amazing playoff run, you know what I mean?
right.
So that becomes dicey. I do like Denver as well, though. I've always liked Denver, but OKC, the Spurs, they are what they are. We know what they're going to be when the playoffs time. So I'm not going to say I got a favorite team in the West just yet.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty tough to pick. I know also San Antonio, they're dealing with a bit of a injury with Wimby with his
Hmm.
bruised rib right now. So I think he has one more game to play in order for him to be eligible for an award. He would have to
Hmm.
play at least 20 minutes in the game as well. So
Hmm.
that is something to obviously look forward to coming up this weekend. But yeah, no, I'm very interested to see San Antonio, only because we haven't seen this team in this position. Everything is obviously different in the playoffs. The physicality is going to
Pace
turn
of
up a
play.
lot. The pace of play will turn up a lot too. So that's something that I will be interested to see when the playoffs start, to see how well trained they are and how well conditioned they are
And how
for
I
this
want to
run.
see I want to see how disciplined they are as well too
Yes, yes,
on the defensive end, especially on the defensive end, because if they go up against a team like Denver who can control the half court, that's a problem.
yeah. Yeah,
You
and
know.
then championship DNA also rears its head too, especially for a team with Denver, especially a team with Oklahoma City. Even though that they've had Oklahoma City's number all this
Hmm.
year, Oklahoma City, if they were to see them, I have a feeling Oklahoma City would see it differently when they're going into the playoffs, just knowing the fact that, well, we've been here in these deep waters and they haven't. So
Hmm.
let's see if they could really play this long game with us.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. I agree. That's a 6 game, at least six. I think.
oh yeah, it has to be, has to be.
Come on now,
I think the NBA would kind of have no choice but to rig it, if you know what I mean.
get
They
Chauncey
don't
Billups
rig
on the
it. They
phone.
don't rig it. They don't rig it. I don't know. I do not know. I
There's no
do.
script, guys. There's no script. There's no script.
at least that we know
that we know of. You're absolutely right about that.
of. Before we get off of the NBA though, Milwaukee, that's
Hmm.
they've been a hot topic this week, right? With just the fact that Giannis has basically, or I forgot who it was, reports have come out that Giannis has indeed been looking at New York as a team that he would like to go to. I know he said that he doesn't want to go to LA anymore. Understandably so, they have Luca now and stuff like that. But what's going on up there in Milwaukee?
It's ugly. It's really ugly over there in Milwaukee. That team's not going anywhere. Let's just be honest. At this current juncture, at this current state where they're at, I don't think that they'll get better next year with Giannis on the team. I don't think that they have enough pieces to really elevate themselves. I think it's time for Giannis to get out of there, and I will totally accept him in New York now. Give him to me. I was on the fence about it. I didn't want to give up. Them guys. Mikal Bridges can go. Karl Anthony Towns can go. They can all go. As long as we keep Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, I'm good. And we got to keep oh my god, I'm blanking on his name right now. Mitchell Robinson. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I
I
have to
think
keep
he's
him.
I think he's a real key piece. I'll keep Landry Shamet, but nah, Mikal Bridges and Cat, love you guys, but not performing. They're just not performing.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see if he does make his way over there. What would it cost for him to get over there too? That's
A
another big
lot.
thing that yeah, that I'm trying to figure out as well. Like I understand why Giannis decided to stay. Obviously this is the team that raised him, the team that he, brought a championship back home to for the first time in, forever, basically. A team that has welcomed his family and with his brothers being on the team as well.
Hmm.
So I understand, but I think this right now, this is one of those lessons where Giannis has learned that you have to understand when to choose yourself.
If the Knicks do get Giannis, do I need the two brothers too? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that might be in the contract
Is
clause.
that
I'm
a
not gonna
bundle? Is that a bundle package? Because if it is, we need to rethink everything. Because them two,
lie.
I don't want them.
Well, that's why you guys have a G League team.
Put the asses. You know, I mean, I guess he could stay on the bench. I guess.
But you do need that energy. I ain't gonna hold. He brings energy, and he
He
bring New
does.
York energy too, low key. So
He does. He
he
does.
he rowdy like that. So I'm not gonna lie. I would not mind him being on the
But that's
squad.
just that's two roster spots now. You know what I'm saying? That's two instead of just
Yeah,
one. How
true.
much are we going to be under Giannis's thumb? I think is really important as well too, given what Jalen Brunson has been doing with that team. You know,
Right, right.
I think that's important. I think that it's a lookout. How will Mike Brown use him as well too?
Yeah, that's another thing. How would he use him? Does he, mm, yeah, he's gonna have to use him a lot in the pick and roll, I would say.
I mean, him and Jalen Brunson in the pick and roll that's god tier for real.
It's almost
But it's a
inevitable.
but it's a different game because Cat could shoot. Sometimes
Yeah, yeah, and Giannis can't
they gonna sag
basically.
off of Giannis at all times. But I would like to see
Yeah,
Giannis in a Nick jersey. I'm gonna leave it at that. End of sentence. End of story.
I would like to see him in the Knicks jersey too.
Yeah, I think it's time.
That
I
would be
think it's time for him to get to a big market. I think it's time.
Yeah, definitely. He has to get up out of there. He just has to get up out of Milwaukee, honestly, because they've
Yeah,
butched everything. Firing Coach Mike Budenholzer was probably the first thing that messed them up, and then firing Adrian Griffin was another thing that messed them up. You get Dame, you try to pair him up with Giannis, and it doesn't work at all. And then you try to get Miles Turner this past all season, and he's just he sucks. To be honest with you, like he's just trash right now. I'm not
he would have
even
been
gonna
better
lie.
staying with Indiana.
He's a 7 footer that plays like a 6 footer. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. So yeah, it just doesn't look good in Milwaukee. I think right now, in my opinion, they should fully embrace rebuilding.
Yeah, yeah, it's time. It's definitely time with this draft class that's coming in as well too.
Oh yeah, big time.
You can build
Big
around
time. I
some
would
of some of
definitely.
the, some of those cats. You can.
Oh yeah, easily too. Easily. Going off to college basketball now. We had the Final Four and we crowned the champions. So UConn defeated Illinois 71-62, and then you had Michigan rolling over Arizona 91-73, which was something I'm not gonna lie, I did not see coming. I know I picked Michigan, but I did not see it like that. I did not want to see it like that. Um, and then on a Monday night, we had Michigan versus UConn, and a tough one in what Michigan, yeah, Michigan's closest game since the Big Ten tournament, and where Michigan was able to win 69-63, with Elliot Cadeau winning Most Outstanding Player of the tournament.
Much deserved because, you know, to handle the rock the way Cadeau was, getting his own shot, getting other dudes involved, super, super just amazing to see. Honestly, it really was against a championship DNA UConn team. That was
Hmm.
that gave Michigan a run for their money for that game. Um, and I didn't even expect that, to be honest. I actually kind of thought Michigan was going to steamroll UConn. I can't lie to you.
Hmm.
I really did. Seeing them how they handled Arizona, and then seeing how UConn was able to play against Illinois, but Illinois wasn't on the same competition that Michigan was. You know,
I hear that, yeah.
Michigan was the best team in the nation, and they showed it. They definitely did show it. I think I think they played great. Their big man, Mara, right? Yeah, Mara was he was eating down there on Reed Jr. Solo ball getting into foul trouble, I think, had a lot to do with it too, because he only lost by 6 points. I think he could have provided at least, 10 to 12 more points than he got, but he was in foul trouble heavy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The first half getting into foul trouble. Some of those fouls he should have known better.
Most definitely. When he picked up that second one, I was like, come on, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Getting his hand caught in his cookie jar like that was very immature to see,
Yeah. But
especially in,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And shout out to Elliot Cadeau though, because I seen maturation just in the game alone, like ripping through on somebody, going up for the three when their hands is on them.
Mhm.
Like that's that's IQ. That's
Yeah,
heavy on the IQ.
yeah. No, Elliot Cadeau, man. I love the fact that you know first couple of years were not so great at UNC. People said that he sucked. People said that he wasn't, he wasn't panned out for this. You get him on a good team, and you just see how he has been a catalyst for this team, and just to watch him grow over the season has been awesome to see. He finished off with 19 points and 3 rebounds in the championship game, helping Michigan win their first natty in 37 years. And by the way, he will indeed return for his senior year as well with Michigan. So
Nice.
yes, yes, Michigan, get ready. And I know that there are other recruits coming in most definitely too for Michigan as
Hmm.
well. So
Oh yeah.
Michigan, yeah. So Michigan, they have a good chance to at least run it back. The Big Ten is the first conference to win a natty in both men's and women's basketball and football all in the same year.
Big Ten.
Yeah,
That's actually to all three like that. Wow.
to sweep like that is crazy, right?
Wow.
All different
That's
schools too. Indiana, Michigan, and then UCLA.
that NIL and that transfer portal does a lot for these teams, brother. Man,
The Big Ten is now the stomping ground now. It's not SEC no more.
it is not. It is not. Quick change as well too. Very, very quick change.
Hmm. Yeah, now that's awesome. Congratulations to Michigan on a very great season. The
Dominant season.
Matt Painter, the Purdue head coach, he said it early in the season when they played them. He said that team is not going to reach. They're not going to reach 4 losses, and he knew it because they only lost 3 games.
They were just dominant at every level, on every facet of the game. They knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? They had size too. That's heavy. It's heavy on the size.
Yeah, yeah. Well, something that me and my dad were talking about a lot throughout this whole season was just the fact that, Michigan had literally NBA size at almost every single position. Lindenborg is a big dude. Lamar, a big dude. Morris Johnson under there as well, playing the four, a big
Mhm.
dude. You got Burnett coming in, another big dude. McKinney was one of the top guys, top freshmen coming in the class, and he was coming in off the bench and making huge contributions. He hit a huge three in that second half. He finished off with nine
Mhm.
points and 8 rebounds. So, yeah, man, Michigan was just stacked at every single level. And they were deep, and everybody on their team could hoop, bro.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think that if the one, I do think if the one team that would have been able to beat them is UConn. That's the one team.
Yeah, no, and it showed.
Yeah.
It showed. It literally showed. Because there was probably what that it was one sequence where Terrace Reed he fumbled the ball underneath the basket. I think yeah, and what's it called? And yeah, he fumbled the ball. I think he missed the layup, or somebody else had missed it. And it was just one of those things where if that ball went UConn's way, UConn might have came out with
Yes.
the ups.
Momentum. The momentum
Yeah,
was shifting throughout that entire game. It really was, which I'm
yeah,
glad to see. I'm glad it wasn't a blowout. Like I'm so happy it wasn't a blowout.
same, same. It was good to see a close game because the way Michigan tore up Arizona. Because I'm like, this is Arizona. Like Arizona was tearing up everybody for most of the
Hmm.
season. But man, Michigan just said, yeah, we it's different over here.
And to see like what UConn did to Illinois of all people of like that was baffling to me.
Yeah,
Really, really baffling because they were in such a dogfight against Duke. And then they just
exactly.
essentially just steamrolled over Illinois, bro.
Yep, yep. So that's yeah, that's something right there. That's something right there. Congratulations to both squads for real.
Yeah, most
Congratulations to
definitely.
both. Before we get up out of here, some big news. North Carolina hires Michael Malone to be the next head coach in the NBA. He won 510 games and won that NBA championship with the Nuggets during the 2022-2023 season. Kyle, how do we feel about this?
Very
How do
happy.
you feel about this hiring?
Super, super ecstatic about it, actually. I think there was a little bit of a depression with Hubert Davis there.
Yeah,
Genuinely, I don't think that there was no fire, there was no drive. It just came from his name, and that was it. Michael Malone is a different type of coach, and I'm happy to see him coaching again. At this level as well too, because he can control like a lot, maybe a lot more things, I think, than he could with Denver.
right.
He can go out and recruit, get the players that he wants to get, and I think that that's important as well too. He'll make it work regardless. I think he will bring UNC back to where it was, where it used to be. So I got faith in Michael Malone. I think they're gonna make a big playoff run in a couple years. I think so.
Yeah, yeah. I'm interested to see how he's gonna do on a recruiting trail, but
Hmm.
I do like where UNC is pivoting because usually they pivot just towards someone who has been a Tar Heel, but I
Yeah.
like that it is someone new, it's someone that is a proven winner, and it's also somebody who's good at developing. While he was there, he helped develop Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray into what they are now, to the superstars that they are now. So just the fact that watching that development and then seeing the facilities that they have at UNC, seeing the money that they have at UNC, he's going to have a lot of backing. So he will be able to develop the guys coming in, whoever they are, whether that's transfers, whether it's recruiting as freshmen. He's going to be able to develop these guys rapidly too.
Yeah, I have no doubt that he'll put every player that comes onto that court in the best position possible. I have no doubt in my mind, and he's going to be enthusiastic about it too. He's
Yeah,
from opening tip to the last bell. He's going to be all up in everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a team like UNC needs. You need a proven winner, and you need somebody who's going to hold people accountable, hold these kids accountable. That's important. It's really important in the state of NIL right now and all the money that these kids are getting. He's dealt with that before, in the NBA. He's dealt with people just getting huge contracts and still being able to develop. Look at Aaron Gordon, dog. Aaron Gordon is like, one of like the best role players out right now for real. That stinks to Michael Malone.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
man.
I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what UNC will have coming up, especially just like next year alone. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be good. But so this is the end of our episode. I hope you guys enjoyed just as much as we did. We will indeed be back next week when the NBA playoffs start. So we will definitely have a lot to talk about. But till then, I'm your host Cam Silver,
I'm your co-host, Kyle Silver.
and this is the Silver Boys.
Thank you. Thank you.